Okay. Hopefully the stream is starting. We will see. Manage your channel directly from your phone. Wow. This is fun. Oh, and it looks like I'm not quite as loud as I want to be. Curious. Let's see. So I changed my setup. Can somebody in the viewership just let me know if my audio sounds right? I'm using standard OBS instead of Streamlabs, and I've modified my setup quite a bit. I want to make sure everything's good. Looks like my audio is nowhere near peaking when usually I would have it be nearly peaking at all times. You know, some real behind the scenes stuff. Advanced audio properties. This all seems pretty standard. Audio monitoring, close that. All right, crank up that vol a bit. All right, that's what I shall do. Did I crank it enough? Do I need to crank up the volume even more? Is this what I want to do? I'm at maximum volume here. No, it's peaking. Here, this is probably about where I want it. Sorry if I blew out anyone's ears there. Like I said, switch to a new setup. Want to make sure everything's cool. Bandpass D's Nuts says, Jordy, appreciate it, Jordy. Planet Nemo says, ballsack. All right, Planet Nemo says, what? I can't hear you. I don't actually believe that. Ballsack. All right, Planet Nemo says, what? All right, just did the old send the audio back into itself thing. And I think I'm actually probably pretty good. Planet Nemo says ear damage. All right, I literally didn't change anything. All right. That's what you get for that. All right, Planet Nemo. You're fine. These are babies. Yeah, I figured as much. Planet Nemo again says titties. I don't know if that's allowed on Twitch. You might get TOS for that. Not my problem. I'm not going to do anything about it, but still, that could turn out to be a problematic move. And I know how much Twitch doesn't like problematic moves. So we're just going to give it a couple of seconds here. I maybe will have a guest on today, maybe not. Oh, you know what? I just realized something in my setup that I need to change is that it still says Resume Review Friday. And that is totally wrong. Let me fix that. Nate Stream Tuesday edition. So when I update the stream info, oh, look at that. It happened instantly. It's a little difference between how Streamlabs works and how other stuff comes along. So that's good. I got that figured out. So yeah, sorry. This is a little growing pains going on. Changed my whole setup for how everything works, but it should be smoother in the long run because I'm no longer relying on a Windows machine. I'm relying on a Unix machine. That is Unix, which is much better than Windows, of course. Everyone loves Unix. Planet Nemo says YFUU exclamation mark. No idea what that means, Planet Nemo, but thank you for saying it, whatever it means. So today we may be doing a web server setup how-to, but also we may be doing Pape Changer stuff. You should have a Linux stream startup log as the stream starting splash screen. I'm considering it. That actually would be kind of cool. Get a recording of my Linux machine booting up. The problem is I like to sit in the startup screen until the advertisement starts. And when I do it that way, I'd have to figure out a way to make it have the Linux startup log loop through. I guess I could just make it so my computer takes forever to start up and then get a 5-minute thing. Or a loop, yeah. Loop it, says Diesel. Appreciate the enthusiasm, Diesel. That's good. A loop would make sense. But yeah, Linux startup screen would be good. Otherwise, maybe I just have it go from like one to another, where it's the Windows XP one for a little while, and then it's a Linux one for a little while, and then it's a Mac OS for a little while. The Mac OS, there's not much to it. It's just black with the Mac logo. Maybe do a, I don't know, Solaris or something. I don't know any of these other computers. The one I got to avoid is the Commodore 64, because you just turn that bad boy on and you're already in it. That's all there is to it. Old OS 9 with all the widgets loading. That's exactly what we want. And it looks like the ad is coming up. So just for my subscribers in here, thanks for subscribing. You know, all these other idiots have to listen to ads. And guess what you get? You get to get right into the real stream a little early. So let's just get into it. So what I have up here right now, and I may switch immediately away from it, is the Pape Changer repository. Now, Pape Changer is the single most advanced wallpaper manager I've ever written. I mean, it is fancy. It's got a bunch of Go code, some Swift code, a Makefile. I mean, what more could you ask for, honestly, other than, you know, a proper program that works properly? But, you know, we're getting ahead of ourselves there. Oops, my stream chat found its way over there. I want it over here. Run clock on it. I could actually do that, except I wouldn't run clock. I'm just going to run lines of code, GitHub, counter. I've already searched for it. Fantastic. That's not the link I wanted. I want this link. Fantastic. So let's copy this bad boy. Paste this bad boy. What do we got? 1,236 lines of code. Mostly Go, some Swift. Actually, not as much Swift as I thought it was. 79 lines of Swift. 100 lines of JSON. What's my JSON? Oh, I bet this is generated stuff from the Xcode project. Got some YAML. Little Makefile. You know, this is good stuff. But Pape Changer is a fantastic application. In fact, it's been running this entire time. I just got to click up in here, click Change Wallpaper, and it changes my wallpaper, which is fantastic. I can change wallpaper directory to, let's say, Arial. Look at this, Arial photos. How neat is that? That is just darn fantastic. So you love to see it. You love to see it. Fantastic application. However, the code within the application is not quite as fantastic. I mean, this is nice. I appreciate this. Diesel actually submitted this. That's DEASTL on GitHub. Submitted a pull request to get a couple of nicer things in here. But if you look at this, this is stinky. If dereference setup and not dereference daemon. Oh, gross. Look at the spacing here. This main method. Then I have this whole classic functionality thing that. This is a gross main method. A lot of stuff going on here. Basically, what's happened is I've taken a command line application and just poorly ported in a UI to it, and then just left it in this half busted, half working state. I mean, it works fine, but it's busted, right? So not the whole thing is like this. If you go to the package/pape setter, this code is actually pretty nice. I got a little interface here set up. Got a little chooser to choose which to figure out which desktop environment you're doing, and then based on Linux desktop environments, it just has the unique way of changing the wallpaper on that environment, which is pretty nice. And then on Mac, just made this change last night. Use an OSA script to change the wallpaper, which works fairly well. Windows, you have to load in a Windows DLL and then send the path using unsafe.pointer on the path. I'm not smart enough to write even these like 10 lines of code. I stole this straight from some random person's blog post, and I appreciate them. I ought to add a comment at the top referencing whose stuff I stole there. Of course, unsupported. It's just not going to work. But the real problems come inside interface. Not this one. Inside. No, not in package. In internal. These are where the real problems are. So my file selector is actually not as bad as I thought it was. This is a little gross, but not too bad. My environment file, which just holds all the state, and then write state and read state, is actually pretty decent. But the worst one is, why do I keep doing this? Am I too dumb to figure out how to do this? The worst one is the parts of this where I'm using this UI package. So the UI package truly is ugly. So I'm using all of these libraries to try to get just the UI elements, so I can have a system tray icon that runs there while you're running it in daemon mode. That way you can interact with that system tray icon to change your wallpaper. I suppose it's cut off a little bit on my OBS stream, but you can see the pop-down menu that comes down, I believe. Let me make sure you can see that. Yeah, so you can see the pop-down menu there. Right above it, there's a little icon. The way I implemented this in Mac OS is by writing a wrapper in Swift, and I plan on writing another wrapper for Windows to wrap around the command line functionality. And then the only thing we need to do is write a OS-specific wrapper for the chooser window, which is the window you use to change your wallpaper directory. Because this doesn't look like it came from any operating system. This is just based on the default styling of the find.io library, and I think I can do much better. I think that's the problem with this one right now. If you get a Mac chooser window, which I've implemented for selecting the initial wallpaper, go away. Oh, this doesn't even work. I'll just go back to Arial. Oh, great. It doesn't work. I've broken it. So there's some growing pains here. I don't know how to. Do I quit this? Yeah, so this thing's literally broken. Because this is the only part that's not done in native Mac OS Swift UI of the parts that you interact with. So that's a little gross, and I don't know what to do with this window now. It's broken. This program is actually not working. Oh great, that works, but everything else doesn't work. Such is the plight of the software engineer. This is tough. Let's do how to force quit on Mac. This is what I get for doing a live broadcast. Command, Option, Escape. I don't know where all those buttons are on my keyboard. Let's see. Command, Option, Escape. There we go. Force quit, pape changer. Go away. Go away. All right. Let's try this again. All right. So now at least it works again. Anyway. So what we want to do is rip out all of this nonsense for drawing graphical windows and re-implement the wallpaper chooser that chooses, or re-implement the directory chooser in something native, right? So Swift UI on Mac, and then I'll have to implement one for Windows, and then I'll probably use, I don't know what I'll use to do it on Linux. So that's fun. Otherwise, we have a couple of other mildly gross things. Okay, this is just my old main file from a long time ago. that I seem to have copied in here that's doing weird stuff. I don't actually think this is doing anything. This is what my old main file looked like, and this is absolutely gross. At least there's been improvement. So, yeah, time to get into it. So let's just open up good old Xcode, xcode.app, and get working on trying to recreate this change wallpaper directory, but do it in SwiftUI. So I'll open the existing project, source, npmaile, pape changer, apple wrapper, papechanger.xcode project. Fantastic. So then what we will want to do is, so we got a Swift app here. It's quite simple. Let's see. The way Swift works is essentially you declare scenes, and those contain other scenes, which contain, well, no, it's a scene and it contains, what are these things called? Components? Let's see, show quick help. This is no, it is a scene. So scenes contain scenes, which contain scenes, and those scenes contain other things. And the way it works is it renders itself out and figures itself out and does it. You can make them call functions, like how I have this change pape function, which all it does is call into the command line executable, which is written in Go, and then it hands it things, which is very neat and very fun. But what we need is to change this change pape dir to, instead of calling pape changer with -c, we'll add another argument into pape changer, probably call it -cd, to change directory, and then have a string to change the directory that it passes into the inner command line functionality. Then what that'll do is that'll change the directory that pape changer is looking at in a Mac native way. So that's going to be the fun part. Anyway, this is all just talking about what's going to happen in the future. This will be for a later stream. Right now, we're going to have a special guest on. Special guest I didn't realize was legit until mere moments ago. Let's see, how do you zoom in as a guest? I will send over. Aha, this is the beauty of live broadcasting. Enjoy this noise while I figure out how to properly run a live broadcast. So that's fun, to go with the Windows theme. How much fun is that? Anyway. Let's see. Just give me 1 second, everyone. My apologies. Live broadcast stuff. Live broadcast. I swear, one of these days, I will have a professional stream where I'm running everything properly and doing everything quickly. I just sent an email to... One of these days, I'll have everything figured out. This will all be properly done, and I'll look very professional and like I've been doing this for a while. But today is not that day. What you get instead is this fantastic Windows XP window that I live inside of. Also, thank you for the follow, Jibbity James. Jibbity James is a friend of mine. Know him from way back in the day when I used to work at Home Depot. Back before anyone had any idea. Back before I had any idea how to write software that people use. Thanks for joining the old community. So what we are actually doing today is having fun and went to a different window. That's not what I wanted. What we are actually doing today is learning how to put up a simple website on an AWS host. This is something that many people need to worry about, and I will have a special guest here to go through the process with, because that is the best way to learn, is by doing, of course. And the best way to So it'll be just a moment, hopefully. We will see. What this really is just a demonstration of why you should always make sure to figure things out ahead of time, instead of trying to figure out if you can have someone on as a stream guest like 25 minutes before the stream starts. aws.amazon.com. Let's at least get signed in. Now this... So this will be an important skill for anyone trying to get into tech. You can write all the code you want, but if you never show it to anyone, nobody ever sees it, you never run your program anywhere, it doesn't matter. So this is... And of course, Amazon wants to verify my stuff. I swear, we'll get started with an actual stream here in a minute. And thank you all for sticking with it for so long. Fantastic. Here is an AWS console. Logged into mine. Using Ohio. I think I'm going to go to North Virginia. I think that's the way to do it. Oh no, my forecasted in-month costs are 3 cents, up to 200%. What am I doing with Amazon Simple Storage? I bet my old website's still up there. TV Josh, did I miss the fun? No, the fun is just about to begin. If anything, you saved yourself some time by not watching me ramble on about Pape Changer for 10 minutes before I discovered what the stream was really going to be about. Maybe I should do like some leak code to pass the time while I try to get my stuff together. That could be an interesting thing to do. I'm logging into like 3 different systems trying to track down everyone and everything. This is all very fun. I'm thinking my time at the Home Depot might be over. Maybe time for Walmart or Amazon. You know what? Jibbity James, I think you can do anything you set your mind to. And I know it sounds like I'm being funny, but like seriously, yeah, Home Depot. It's a good place, but certainly if you find greener horizons, Walmart or Amazon would make sense. You know, Amazon are the big boys. I remember when working at Home Depot, we were always acting like we were just on Amazon's heels, when that was nowhere near the case in any way, at any time, ever. And then, of course, Walmart, the people that are actually on Amazon's heels. I hear they, I suppose, James, this probably won't matter much to you, but I hear they use a lot of Go in their backends, trying to make their stuff as quickly as possible, or as fast as possible. remember a few years ago I applied to Walmart, and they were bragging about how they care so much about speed and how well their stuff works that they were doing they were like debating about the difference between using like two very similar data structures in Go to shave off microseconds off of response times and things of that nature. Told me it's much greener at Walmart. Yeah, I bet Walmart would say that. Anyway, my guest should be here very soon, I think. We shall see. Hopefully. In due time. Live broadcast, people. This is, hope it's entertaining watching me die a little bit. Anyway, what is the name of that website? Storyblocks.com. I'm going to get some stock music playing in the background real quick. That's what we want. Oh man, dead air. I hate dead air. Dead air makes me want to cry. Let's see. Moods. Epic. No, let's do relaxing. This is going to be a chill stream today. Sky Meditation by Giuseppe Rizzo. Oh. Well, this is a delight to listen to. A little loud, though. That's about where I want those levels. Maybe a little bit lower. See, this is a problem. I moved my stream later on just to make sure I had enough time to get everything figured out. Ooh. There we are. There's our guest. Howdy.
Oh, can you hear me?
Not very well.
Hi.
All right, you were coming in way too quiet.
Okay.
Still far too quiet. You're going to want to put the microphone 1 millimeter from your mouth.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, that is very good.
Great.
You're going to have to make sure to continue talking exactly like that. So I hope you're not in an uncomfortable position. This is fantastic. Welcome, everyone, to the stream. My cousin, Tiffany. She is, of course, the CEO of Gray Tech Group, a fantastic tech startup. Can you tell us the audience a little bit about yourself? Did I reveal too much?
Well, my name is Tiffany. I am the cousin to this awesome guy. And I have a startup company where we are currently developing technology for the transportation industries.
That is fantastic. So your technology will be found on street corners and intersections everywhere.
That moves.
Everything that moves.
Planes, trains, automobiles, ships, yachts, everything. It's like Frank's Red Hot Sauce. We put that shit on everything.
That is fantastic. Real quick before we get going, GBD James says Walmart told him a number and it was more green. Fantastic, GBD James. Go and get that cash. That is what you want to do. Anyway, Tiffany, you know what we're here to do. We are going to get a website going on Amazon, AWS.
Awesome.
So let's see. Hopefully you can see my screen through the Google Meet.
Yes.
Fantastic. So I've logged into my personal AWS. If you want, we can log into yours, and I can just show you how I'm doing everything. But
Yes.
if you want to learn better, I could probably stay logged into mine. You could follow along. Which would you prefer?
Either way, let me see if I can log in here. I actually had to pull up a separate browser because for some reason my Firefox does not want to cooperate. Let's see.
That is really annoying when Firefox doesn't want to cooperate.
Yeah, and they're usually great.
Yeah, I try to use Firefox for as much as possible, but sometimes it just doesn't work out.
Yes, and today is one of those days. That's what took me so long to log in, because Firefox told me no.
Certainly. Well, I need to practice my vamping skills anyway. I think I still need more practice, but no harm, no foul.
Okay, I'm logging in now, catching up to you. Uh, Okay, I'm in.
All right, fantastic. So, what we have to do is a handful of things. So, uh, to host a website, basically, all you need to do is have a server somewhere that is accessible to the public that when it receives an HTTP message, it returns back an HTTP response containing the data that you want to send the person. Generally, this is the content of your website, right? So you can have there's all sorts of options for hosting out there, but one of the cheapest and most simple ways is to host it yourself. Maybe it's not the most simple way, but it's one of the most flexible ways where you host it yourself and you just run a server out there that sends back the website data. Now, Tiffany has a whole bunch of AWS credit, so I think this will be a free way to do it that is very flexible in case we want to add some interactivity to it, or if we want to add a database to it or connect to any of the other assets within AWS. So hosting it on an AWS EC2, which is just their virtual server platform instance, will be the way to do it. So I got a notepad up here, so I will outline the steps. Tiffany, feel free to stop me if any of this doesn't make any sense. So the first step is spin up a virtual machine in the cloud environment. So that's pretty simple. Spin a virtual machine in the cloud environment. Next step is to gain access to said environment, which will involve a couple of things. Let's see. Oh, nope. Buttons don't work the same way. Which will involve setting up SSH keys and then setting up SSH. Tiffany, are you familiar with SSH?
Fairly familiar. I've set one up once before, but I could use a refresher because that was months ago.
Fantastic. Once before is good. Are you familiar with working in a Unix command line environment?
Now, it's been roughly a little over a year since I have, so
Okay, this will be a little bit painful, but not too bad. Because the next thing you do is install a web server application. Then you need to set up SSL. And then the last thing you need to do is copy the website into your machine. And if you've done all those things correctly, you will have a website up and running. Do you have the HTML files for the website at the moment, or is that going to come later?
I think I can import it from its current location. I'm not sure.
Fantastic. We will burn that bridge once we get to it because there's quite a bit of stuff to do before that.
Great.
So the first thing you want to do is familiarize yourself with the AWS console. And by that, I mean ignore everything on the AWS console page. It is absolute nonsense. This is one of the least discoverable and most useless management interfaces I have ever touched in my life. And I've used all of them. Let's see. Under my recently visited, I have EC2, and that's their virtual machine platform. But I think if you scroll down to compute, you can find EC2. So once you go there, what you want to do is launch an instance, which seems easy enough. And then, Tiffany, if you get behind, let me know. I can slow down. So let's see. We'll give it a name. Let's call it web server. Fantastic. Amazon Linux is perfectly acceptable. Otherwise, there's a bunch of other options to choose from. I would consider Debian, Ubuntu. macOS is going to be expensive. Windows is going to be expensive. Red Hat works fine, though I don't really have too much experience with it. SUSE. I think I would prefer Ubuntu since that's what I'm most comfortable with. Do you have a preference at all, Tiffany? Tiff, you there?
No, I don't have a preference. I'm sorry, I didn't realize my mic was on
Oh yeah, no worries.
mute.
So let's do it
I
with,
don't have a preference though, but I was asking about Ubuntu. They used to be the standard because they were really good and free of cost. Is that still the case?
yes, Ubuntu is a very good choice for a default Linux. Um, that's about it. It's got a relatively good package manager. It's used by it's probably the most popular Linux distribution out there. It's very well supported. If you Google how to do something in Linux, you will find an Ubuntu reference first, followed by probably an Arch Linux reference, and then beyond that, it's a crapshoot. And Arch Linux, I would not recommend running on a server, so Ubuntu is probably the best choice. And I didn't really speak with much finality of that sentence. Ubuntu is probably the best choice.
I agree.
Fantastic. So there's free tier eligible, and I think that's probably going to be the best way to do it. So I don't have to pay anything. It's fantastic. Architecture, you want 64-bit x86. The ARM stuff is great if you're eco-conscious, but right now I don't trust ARM Linux quite as much as I trust the x86 stuff. And if it doesn't cost different, if it's not going to cost me money, then I'll go with 64-bit x86. Now, instance type, T2 micro, free tier eligible, fantastic. And then a key pair. Okay, so this is where the fun begins. It has the create new key pair button, so I'm going to open that up. And, oh, interesting. So it just generates it on the computer. So this is fantastic. So what you do is you name the key pair, probably call it website underscore key pair. And then you want to do an ED25519 key. RSA has been hacked. I saw an article just yesterday about how RSA was hacked. Basically what they do is they use random variation brought on by alpha particles hitting traffic in transit to do a whole bunch of ridiculous math and nonsense to steal people's keys. But only RSA is susceptible to this, and it's only been recently done. It's only been done about 20 times. But ED25519 is safe. And then let's see. Are you on an OpenSSH? Are you on a Windows computer, Tiffany?
I am.
Okay. So then probably the way you'll want to run the SSH stuff is via PuTTY. So you'll want a PPK key file format. Now I'm on Mac OS. I'm using OpenSSH, so I'll use PEM. But the process is slightly different. But once you get into it, it's not too bad. So you just create the key pair, and then it will save the key pair onto your machine, and we'll use that in a minute once we finish creating the server. So then within the network settings, none of this all matters. Firewall, create security group probably makes sense. You'll want to allow SSH traffic. I say allow it from anywhere since it's going to be pretty secure since it's encrypted and you can't get in unless you have that private key. Some places where they want to be very, very secure, you can put in custom IP ranges or only your IP. If you're doing this from home, you don't want to do just your IP because your home network can change IP addresses. And then you'll want to allow HTTPS traffic from the internet and probably HTTP traffic from the internet, if only to make it a little bit easier on your users. If they accidentally type in http:// you can redirect them right to that HTTPS, though most browsers do that today anyway. So we got some people in the chat. Planet Nemo, let's see. Arch Everywhere, good one. Else Fedora, Debian is too stable. I actually agree. Debian is a little too stable for me. Old packages. Planet Nemo says, yeah, there is such a thing. TV Josh, is this a static website? Indeed. Right now we're doing a static website. We can go a little bit more complex in the future, but static website is all we need. So anyway, for storage, free tier customers can get up to 30 gigabytes. So I'm gonna crank this bad boy up to 29. Oh, hit the wrong button. Did I do something wrong? I screwed something up. Simple. Hide details. Show details. File systems. Yep, so one volume, size, we're going to do 29 gigabytes. Volume type, this is like getting some nerd stuff. It doesn't matter. Delete on termination. Probably this will be stored elsewhere. Encrypted or not encrypted, it probably doesn't matter. For a website that's open to the public. Is this a static website? You can just do that with S3 buckets, I think. Yes, indeed you can. But that's not how we're going to do it right now. That way we can add in extra functionality and interactivity later on if we want to have a simple backend service running. Then file systems, EFS is probably fine. You want to click add new volume. Oh, never mind. You just want the one volume. EFS works. Advanced details. This is all nonsense. And that is that. Tiffany, are you with me?
I am. Now it says that we're eligible to get up to 30 gigabytes.
Yes, that's why I set mine to 29. I guess I probably could just set to 30.
Okay.
I never trust those things. Maybe it accidentally does 30.01 and you're getting charged out the ass for it. Like I try to avoid bumping up on those limits, you know. I don't know if Amazon does that. Probably safe to do 30. But, you know.
Maybe I should now under configure storage for me. It's not asking whether or not I want to delete on termination. Is that a Mac thing?
I don't think it's going to be a difference based on that. I don't know why it's not asking you if you want to delete on termination. Maybe it's a different type of account we have. Maybe you already have that default set somewhere. I'm not sure. I wouldn't worry about it. It's not going to make a difference either way because all of this stuff is going to be stored elsewhere anyway.
Okay, cool.
So we have our keys downloaded. We have our settings ready to go. Looks like it's time to launch the instance. Let's just click launch instance. It'll take a little bit. And there we go. Successfully initiated the launch. So we can check the launch log. So that's all coming along. So the next thing to do is going to be to set up SSH to use those keys that we generated. So what you'll want to do on a Windows machine is install a piece of software called PuTTY. Free SSH and Telnet client, originally developed by Simon Tatham for the Windows platform.
Oh, I thought I had PuTTY on here. I used to use it for a one of those Raspberry Pi drones.
Oh, absolutely. So you're familiar. Well, that is fantastic. If you have putty, then you'll have to import your key, which actually I don't know how to do. You've caught the
Yeah,
edge of
it
my
looks like
knowledge.
my putty is not on here. It's not finding it. I'm gonna reinstall it.
Okay, perfect. In the meantime, I'm just gonna do funny poses. Hope everyone was ready with their screenshot button because those poses were hilarious. All right, now's the time where we're about to start doing some elite hacker man stuff. I've switched to my sunglasses. This is how you know I'm getting real. Throwing on the hood. We're about to do some hacking. Let's see. See, I don't know how to use putty. I probably ought to figure out how to set up my own SSH key that I set up with OpenSSH while I'm at it. PM key OpenSSH. How to. Let's see. Got a .pem file. SSH minus I. Very good. Very good. All right, Tiff, you got putty installed?
I do.
Fantastic. Did you figure out how to import that key that you downloaded earlier into putty?
Okay.
Because I don't know how to do that. I don't have putty on this machine. This is a Mac I'm on right now. So I have my own way of doing it.
Okay, let me open the app and see if I can. Oh, it says specify the destination you want to connect to.
Oh, perfect. And we can go back to the if you go back to the Amazon console and go back to EC2 and click instances, you can find your instance ID and you'll see the address.
Oh, cool. Here, next to web server. Now that would already have my key stored as well.
That has your key. What? Why is it mad at me? Oh,
Okay. So I plugged that in, the instance ID, and it's the instance
it's
ID,
not the
not.
instance ID. It'll be the public IPv4 address. That's the address you want to
Okay,
connect
that's
to.
what I was gonna say. It
And then the
looks like I
user
should be
will.
plugging that in
Yeah.
instead.
So the user I think is either going to be root or Ubuntu or EC2-user. This will take some trial and error to figure out. /EC2 underscore key dot pem chmod 0644.
Says the host key is not cached for this server.
Oh, the
Let me
host key
see.
isn't cached. That just means that you've never connected to that one before, so it
Yeah,
doesn't know if it's like changed or anything. So you
but it
can
looks
usually
like
click through it.
the key is trying to import. I'm gonna accept.
Perfect.
Okay. Okay, now this is the part I forgot. It's been a long time for putty for me. The login is.
So that'll be root likely. Actually, we got to figure that one out. Might be. Oh, come on. Oh, I see what I've done. Hold on a second. Uh, 600./ec2 key.pem. There we go. Let's try root. Oh, so we have to log in as Ubuntu. That's the name of the user.
Oh, Ubuntu.
Ubuntu. Yep. UBUNTU. And it looks like I am in.
It says not supported.
Not supported.
Let me see. Hopefully, I misspelled Ubuntu. No, I did not. Ubuntu. Why would it say not supported? That's on inactive. Hmm.
In the chat, Cam says, "Good morning." Don't know where you are, Cam, that it's good morning, but good morning to you too. If you notice, we're just doing some elite hacking. Got my cousin on the other line. Or on the line, on the phone, on the Zoom call.
Hello.
Co-streaming. I don't know. Cam says, "Hello, cousin."
Hello, Cam. Okay, so now my putty it has been rendered inactive.
What does that mean?
I don't know. Maybe I should just exit out and relaunch it.
Yeah, try that. Putty window rendered inactive. Huh. Weird.
Okay, I'm going back to the instance. I am pulling up the public IP address.
Fantastic.
I'm plugging it in as the host name.
Yep.
I am opening it. It is asking again, log in as
Ubuntu.
Ubuntu. I told it so. And it's telling me no supported authentication methods available.
So you got to configure the authentication method.
Oh, back in AWS?
No, that'll be in Putty. So you have to tell Putty to use that key pair that you've generated in AWS to authenticate.
Okay, how do I configure Putty?
I have no idea. I think it's you have to browse to connection, SSH, auth. And then you can select browse where it says private key for authentication, and then find that that file that you downloaded from Amazon earlier, where after it generated the keys.
Okay.
Oh, I had to play some music, so it's not dead silent.
Yeah, you had some really cool music in the previous sessions.
TV Josh asks, funeral organ music? I'll see if I can find some funeral organ music. Let's see if there's any royalty-free funeral. Ooh, there's one. 51 seconds. The Crucible, Act 3 by Bizarre. It's a little loud, a little distracting. Let's crank this volume down a little more. There we go. So we got some funeral organ music. Another few seconds of it. Ooh. Alright, this track kind of slaps.
Okay, I'm on this Putty configuration.
Okay.
It's asking for an auto login username. Is that where I can create
throw in
that?
Ubuntu.
Okay.
Bounce Baback says, hello, good sir. Hello, Bounce Baback. Hope you're not going to be weird in the chat today. Bounce Baback is going to be weird in the chat today.
Do I need any environment variables on this?
No.
Okay.
Oh, good news. Bounce Back found God, and he's not weird anymore. So that's great to hear.
Okay, I'm trying to open this auto login username Ubuntu, and it's not allowing me to do anything.
Huh. That is strange. Can you share your screen on this Google Meet? I'll not share it to the universe. I'll force them to watch, I don't know, C Donut. Actually, no, I'll make them watch Hollywood. Everyone be mesmerized by the elite hacking going on my screen while I attempt to assist. Okay, so let's see. So back on that putty configuration window, let's take a look.
Okay, let me pull it. There we go.
So on the left where it says SSH.
I see it.
Yep. If you... Let's see. Did you expand that? There's a little plus right next to it on the left side, right where you were clicking.
Oh.
Yep. So then scroll down. Right there where it says auth. That's where you want.
Off?
AUTH.
Oh, I see.
And then expand that one. And then credentials. And then private key file for authentication. That'll be the one you want. So if you hit browse and then go to that file you downloaded earlier.
Good grief, where did I put it again?
I'm gonna find different music. Listening to that about 6 times was annoying. Let's play Little Pastry. Humans Win. Pop Electronic. Okay. This song is a little... Okay. Bass hitting.
I thought I put it here. Why can't I? Good grief. I could have sworn I saved that key over here in program files. Let's see. Maybe it's still in the download. Okay, that works.
All right, perfect. And then if you go back to... I don't know where
Do I need to open that one yet?
This should be fine the way it is here. So then you just go back to wherever the connection window was. Back up.
Okay, it's not allowing me to open that. Is that okay?
Yeah, that'd be fine. If you got a session, I think, is that the one? Yep. So SSH port 22. That's where you paste in the public IP address.
Okay.
And it looks like you have logged in.
Yes, I'm a pro now, huh?
Indeed. So now that we're logged in, let me log back in myself.
Do I need to stop sharing?
It doesn't matter. You're not going to be in the your screen's not on the stream. It's for your privacy, so either one works. So then, what we need to do now that we've logged into the Ubuntu machines is run a couple of commands to just do some basic maintenance. So the first one you want to run is sudo apt -get update. And I think you're supposed to just say apt update, but I'm a man of I'm set in my ways, so I always use apt-get, even though I think the apt package.
Now, which command console are you using here?
I am just typing it right into the connection there.
Into the browser?
No, this is within the once you SSH into the server. That's the console I'm using.
Okay. Your screen is tiny. What did you?
So this is sudo sudo space apt dash get apt-get space update. So what that does is that updates the all the packages.
The version of Ubuntu.
Well, what that does is that just updates the package listing so that Ubuntu is aware of all the latest packages that exist. That's what the update does, and then the next one is going to be the same thing, except instead of update, it's upgrade, and that upgrades all the packages to their latest versions.
Cool. Okay, it's done.
Great. So now the next thing is sudo apt-get upgrade. If you just hit the up arrow, it'll put in whatever command you typed in last. So you can just backspace the last couple of characters and change that update to upgrade, and run that. And then it'll ask, it'll say, there's some software that needs to be upgraded. Do you want to continue? You'll hit Y for yes, and then it'll update all the packages.
Got it.
Fantastic. So that'll just take a few more seconds. The music over here. It takes a little bit to do this. I would expect Amazon to do a little bit better job of keeping their system images updated, but it's nothing can't be fixed without a couple of shell commands. So some other stuff is going on. So Tiff, tell me, how much do you know about web servers?
It's been a long time since I built a web page in this format. It was the last time I did this was 2007, I want to say.
Oh wow.
Yes, when you were still a little tight.
Well, no need to worry about it. Also, something's going to pop up. Just hit enter. Ignore whatever it says. It doesn't matter.
Okay, it says which services should be restarted. Oh, it doesn't matter?
Yeah. Fine. So, the new hot thing in web servers today is to... there's a few of them out there. There's a couple of... There's one like Caddy. There's one... there's still Apache from way back in the day. But the best one I've found in my experience has been Nginx. Spelled Nginx. It's very good, and when you install it, it'll set up a default web server. And what's neat is you can just load your files in instead of the default web server files.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's your website, and it's already hosted, and it's easy, and it requires almost no setup. And
cool, let's do it.
The only difficult part is installing the SSH certificate, which is made easy by a program called OpenSSL. And then you'll get the little lock next to your website, and it'll all be great. But
excellent.
We'll have to make sure we'll have to do some DNS settings. And oh wow, this is going really quickly. Last time I set up a web server with someone, it was like pulling nails, and it took hours. But you are moving right along. This is great.
Oh, thank you. You're an excellent teacher.
Thank you. So the next thing will be to use that same package manager that we just updated and called the upgrade command on. And we will want to install Nginx. So that's sudo apt-get install Nginx. And we'll hit yes again, and it will install.
Nginx.
Yep.
Yes, and go.
Fantastic. So what that did is it did a couple of things. It installed the Nginx binary, so it installed the program, and then it set up a service so that whenever the computer starts up, it restarts Nginx no matter what. And if Nginx fails for some reason, it'll restart Nginx. So basically, as long as the computer's up, Nginx will be up. And then it installed a default configuration that we're not going to look at today because it actually doesn't matter. But what it does is it serves any of the files in /var/www/html as files. So if you look on my screen, this is what it's serving as the website right now.
What was that command you just used?
It doesn't matter. We'll get to it later. But what matters is this document is being served from var www.html. So if I copy this address into my browser and paste it, this is being served from my new instance of. This is being served directly from the Ubuntu machine that's out there, the EC2 instance. So we've got a web server up, and if you paste in your IP address, you will see a very similar page.
Okay.
So then the next thing we have to do is get the other.
1 second. Let me see. You want me to?
Yeah, just paste in the IP address of your.
I
server.
see it.
Yep.
I see it.
So then now all we have to do is get the files from your website into this location on the server, and then it'll be served as a web page.
Wait a minute. It didn't come up for me. Oh, maybe I shouldn't have. Maybe I just need the numbers, not the actual IP. No.
Oh, well, what are you getting? It's just not finding it?
It's trying to take me to a directory.
Interesting.
Let me go back. Maybe I didn't copy it correctly. Okay, so now, once again, which IP did you grab?
I just went and back to this, the public IPv4 address.
Oh, hold on.
Oh, there's a button right here. You can just click open address. And
that one.
Yep. And
then now that was
HTTPS to HTTP.
That was the problem.
And then you'll be on it.
Yes, I am there.
Fantastic. So you've put up a web server. Now all we need to do is get your website onto that location. But there's one other thing. There's two other things we need to do. And you can tell me which one you want to. Actually, we should probably do one of them first. So this is just a raw IP address. You're not going to hand this out, obviously. So you need to set up your DNS settings to link to this website. And that takes a little while to propagate, so we'll do another step while we're waiting for that to come through. So who are you using for your domain hosting?
Right now, it's in GoDaddy.
GoDaddy, fantastic. I don't use GoDaddy, so I will do a slightly different process from what you're doing. But what we need to do is essentially log into the domain hosting provider and then create a new A record for the whatever subdirectory of the website, probably www. And point it towards that IP address.
Okay, let me log in. Looks like I'm logged in already.
Fantastic. Anyone watching can check out all the domains I own. Shout out to fuckwordpress.info. I hate WordPress. So I will just do a new subdomain under npmaile.com.
Okay, so under my account and products, you want me to grab, hold on, let me see. Okay, here's the website. You want me to grab the website or the domain name first?
You'll probably want to grab the domain name, the DNS entries. So if you select the domain and then go to wherever it is to change the DNS settings.
It's trying to get me to set up my. Wait a minute. No, I need the dashboard for my DNS settings. It was really easy for me to find it before I set up this web page on here but now they're trying to, I guess, lock me in.
Oh, they're trying to lock you into using their website creator.
Yes, they are, and I don't know where my DNS is all of a sudden. Let's see. Go to the dashboard. It's free.
I'm going to Google and see if Putty supports file transfer methodology.
Okay. It seems as if they're trying to force me to publish. I do not want to publish. I just want my DNS.
That is frustrating.
Yes. Okay, let me go back.
Let's see. Anyone in the chat have any ideas? Know anything about GoDaddy? How to get to the DNS settings once you've already set up a website with them?
Okay, here we go. Found it.
Never
my
mind.
DNS.
Fantastic. TV Josh says GoDaddy sucks.
That's
say I
what
disagree.
everyone's saying. That's why I'm trying to get rid of it. I'm firing them as we speak.
Fantastic. Get everything over to Cloudflare. I mean, Cloudflare is a company that's only ever taken down the entire internet like 4 or 5 times. I mean, they're the ones to trust. And I mean all of that unironically. They unironically took down the entire internet 4 or 5 times. Also, they're unironically the ones to trust. So then what you'll want to do is set up an A record on the www subdomain, likely. You can also do the @ domain, which is if you just type in the website with no subdomain, and then set it to that IP address.
Okay, I am still bumbling around trying to find this DNS. For some reason, it has multiple DNS records, and I'm trying to figure out why.
I wouldn't worry too much about it. Usually there'll be a few just by default. It's the www, and sometimes it's @ sometimes it's just blank. Those are the ones that you want to pay attention to.
Okay. I don't see any W. Oh, wait. I do see a www.
So that'll be one that you want to change.
With the data as being greattechcorp.com. And it's a type C name.
Okay,
What is
so
that?
CNAME. Let's see. Yeah, maps one domain name to another, so let me make sure this is right. Works as an alias for domain names that share a single IP address. A record points from an alias with canonical name. in lieu of an A record when a domain or subdomain is an alias of another domain name. All CNAME records must point to a domain, never to an IP address. That's right. So it's probably a CNAME to some .godaddy hosted .whatever website, right?
Okay.
Right? That's what it says? Something like that?
Yeah, CNAME, www, and then the data is graytechcorp.com.
Oh,
I can
interesting.
edit. Let me see what it allows me to do. Oh, it allows me to edit.
Yeah. So you could change that to an A record that points to this IP address. I suppose I never asked what this website was for. Is this going to be your main website?
Yes, the main website for Great Tech Corp.
Okay. I'm trying to think. It'll be fine if the website goes down for like 20 minutes, right? Like.
Yeah, because it's down right now.
Oh, down right now. We can't break anything. Fantastic.
Yes.
Change the A name.
I pulled it so that I couldn't destroy anything.
Yeah, so change that A name. Send it over.
Send it over?
To your IP, or no, change the A name and then point the entry to that IP address.
Okay, now this is going to...
So similar to what I have on my screen share here.
Hold up. Yeah, that will be helpful if I looked at your screen.
Yeah. I'm using a random domain I happen to still own that I thought expired, Random Tropics, but it's all the same.
Now, see, I'm not getting the IP address on my
it needs to be an A name or else it won't let you type in an IP address. So the type of the record is an A record. And the DNS system is very complicated and full of a bunch of nonsense, so it's a little difficult to understand how all this works, but A records point to IPv4 addresses. And that's what we have, and that's what we want to point to.
It says enter a valid IP address.
Fantastic. So that'll be the IP address from the Amazon console thing.
Okay, let me go back. It's the public IP address?
Yep.
Oh, I'm so glad you're walking me through this because I had to port over a domain name to a website, to Wix, and it took me probably 3 days to figure that out.
Oh, it is such a hassle.
It was.
TV Josh says, where do they come up with the names A record and C name? DNS was a weird protocol that was a standardization of a bunch of shell scripts that someone ran in a university for a long time. So to assume that there was thought that went into the standard is totally off base.
Now, what about these DNS records that says they can't be deleted?
Don't worry about them. It'll be fine.
Okay, so it has success on that. It says it should be ready to rock and roll, but it could take up to 48 hours.
Fantastic. 48 hours. Man, GoDaddy is not on their stuff.
I guess that's GoDaddy, huh?
That's fun. So anyway, eventually, at some point, once you go to that website, it'll go to the page. So the next thing we'll do is we'll focus on getting the website transferred over to the server so it serves it properly. And then if we're lucky, we'll be able to set up HTTPS. So then you don't get all of the error, this is an insecure site, don't send your data here, errors when you try to go to it.
Oh, great. Yeah. Excellent.
And that part is actually really easy. It's like 1.5 commands, but we have to wait for the DNS to propagate before we can do that.
Okay, cool.
So
now it's telling me that I have some free DNS SEC credits. What is that?
Don't worry about that. DNS sec is like a whole thing that we're not going to get into today.
Oh, is that a GoDaddy product or is that something else?
No, it's like it's a standard, and it's a whole thing, but it's like I wouldn't worry about it. Actually, now I'm thinking about, do I know what it is? Now that I think of it, maybe... That's right. This is nonsense. It'll be fine.
It's something about extra security to prevent
Yeah.
cyber criminals.
Yeah. Using digital signatures based on public key cryptography. Every zone publishes a public key, which the recursive resolver retrieves to validate data in the zone.
Okay, what did I miss? Sorry about that. I had to grab some juice.
Oh, don't worry about it. Yeah, DNSSEC will be something to worry about later.
Okay, good.
Yeah. So the next thing will be to transfer the website data over to the server. Do you have the website backup anyplace? The raw HTML files?
No, I don't, and I don't care about using it. That was just a template that I literally grabbed as from stock.
Fantastic. Do you have anything?
I have some ideas and I have some images. Maybe we can use Canva.
We could design something out. Though creating a website from that will be... I'm trying to think what's the fastest way to get a quick website going.
But what we did before was we created the libraries and we just threw all of our images and stuff in that. That wouldn't be relevant here?
Maybe.
But like I said, I've done it more recently, but I wasn't too involved in the process more recent. But that was still like 10 years ago.
Yeah, certainly. I'm trying to think of how I would go about making a website. About 7 years ago was the last time I fully made a website. And by fully made a website, I mean I stole a template and then filled in my own information. That was back when
that's the way to do it.
Bootstrap was the cool thing.
And I'm sure Canva has some templates we can use.
Do they have an exporter?
I think so. They have everything ready to rock and roll, and you have the full package if you log into your account.
All right, let's take a look. Create a design.
And I think I even uploaded the logos there already too.
Facebook post logo. Let's try it. Web.
But I have the logos uploaded into AWS as well.
Look at this marketing website, one-page website, photography website, blog website.
Yeah, we can just use that for now, huh?
Yeah, sure. I wonder what it has for...
Do they have anything more techy? I like the dark colors, preferably gray for gray tech.
Let's see what the downloading is like, though, because if it only lets you download an image or something, then it's kind of a non-starter.
No, they should let you download the complete package, because this is supposed to be to set a precedence.
Download. File type. Oh, it looks like it's only got SVG, PNG, JPEG, PDF. That's not going to do it. You need an HTML page.
Oh, that's individual.
That is no good. Embed, send a phone, social. Looks like we can't do it that way.
What about that download? That download option you just passed.
This one? This just has various image formats.
Oh, that was the same.
Yeah. So what we can do is set everything up for automatic... How familiar are you with version control?
I think not at all.
Okay. I will show you something that's a little bit neat. So what I have is, if you watch my screen share, I run a small cryptocurrency DAO, which, that's not what this is about. And I also run a blog on it. And the way this works is the blog page contains content in the form of markdown documents, which are code that looks like this. And then what happens is when I upload those documents here to GitHub, what it does is there's this deploy script that runs, and what this does is it logs into my server, and then what it does is it builds the website, logs into the server, uploads the website, and then the website is updated instantly. So if I go to the website,
and that's just DAO.
Yeah, this is the phone on DAO. You know, a little plug for this cryptocurrency project that I currently lead. Big fun, a lot of stuff. So this is kind of a complicated setup because it involves a building process. I have other repositories. I'm trying to think of one that I do the simple way, where basically you just put the website into a raw GitHub repo, and then whenever you update it, it will run a very similar workflow.
Oh, you know what? We used GitLab over the summer.
You use GitLab over the summer. Fantastic. So are you familiar with git commit, git push, git pull, all those commands?
Vaguely. Now that you're showing me this, I'm recalling that.
Fantastic.
Those were the hours and hours that Dane had us meet.
That's funny.
Like every other week.
Certainly. So let's see. So what I would recommend doing would be to, first of all, since this is for Graytech, what I would do is I would create a new GitHub organization. Here, create organization, call it Graytech. Go for the free organization. Yeah, because it has unlimited private.
I think I did one.
Fantastic.
Because you told me to do a GitHub the other night. I think I did it. Let me go back and double check.
Perfect.
Because sometimes I work until about 4 in the morning and forget where I was.
Oh, I know exactly how that is.
Oh, this one is for Grayscape. Hold on. I did not do one for... No, it is for Graytech. Okay, I'm Fantastic. In. But now Graytech, I think on here is loaded as a private page and not a corporate page. Does it need to be corporate at this moment, or can I come back and do that later?
Maybe.
Oh, really?
I have no idea. Can you share your screen? I'm not exactly sure what you're talking about.
Okay. Hold on, let me find the other screen. Okay, here we go. Okay, so here I am in GitHub. Never mind the logo. For some reason, I have Grayscape logo in GitHub. That was one of those 4 a.m. moves.
Yeah. So if you just go to home,
and then I want to create a repository.
Actually, what you'll want to do is create an entire organization.
Okay.
So,
yeah.
I don't know if this is in the hamburger menu. Maybe not.
This is exactly what I was doing the other night after we got off the call. And where did I go?
What is under that create new drop down?
Oh. I went over here and it gave me the option. It did give me the option to turn this into an organization. That's where I was. So then when I was trying to turn it into an organization, it wanted me to assign it to someone.
That's
but
right.
Since you're on the line, I can assign it to you, because for me, it wanted me to create an entirely separate account just so I can assign it to myself.
That's probably the way to do it, because you want to have a personal account so that your contributions are recognized as coming from you specifically, and then you want the organization to be its own thing. That way you can assign responsibility to different repos to different people, and you can have different permissions on each repo. So yeah, so you'd want to create a personal account and then turn your GrayTech account into an organization.
Okay, now can I assign it to you just for the sake of discussion this evening,
I'll
and
hand
then
it back over to
give
you.
it back to me later? Huh?
Yeah, that'll work.
Okay, good. Okay.
Sorry to the viewer. If it's not interesting, I will I don't know.
Okay, so I'm ready to assign it to you. Is that MP?
MAILE.
Yeah, I see you. Creating. All right, now it's having me sign in again. Oh wait, why can't I? Ugh. Now all of a sudden my login credentials don't work. Am I supposed to be logging in as you?
Maybe you should have created your personal account first.
Oh boy. Okay. So now on your end, do you see ownership of GrayTech Corporation?
I don't think it's gone through yet. But give me 1 second. I'm maintaining my viewership real quick. Most of this is happening off screen for them, so I had to throw open a game of Subway Surfers to make sure that all the Zoomers don't lose their minds. Okay. Anyway, let's see. Oh, look at this. I do have GrayTech Corporation. It's mine. Ha!
Okay, it's yours. So you want me to stop sharing and then you do it?
Yeah, I can take care of.
I can't log in
stuff
anymore.
Yeah, fair enough.
I have no more control over GrayTech.
I've stolen it and all of the intellectual. Oh wait. All right, so I'll just show you how I would set it up. I'll just do a very simple HTML web page, and I'll point it at mine, and then in the future we can come back and point the website publishing it at your page. Okay. Because right now it doesn't really matter all that much. So basically, first thing you'll do is go and make a new repository. Let's call this website. Actually, let's call this homepage. Description, GrayTech, homepage. We'll probably want it to be a private repository. It doesn't really need to be private, but it also doesn't really need to be public.
Right.
And then we will want we don't need more template. Something to readme file. License. It actually doesn't matter because it's private. And we will create the repository. And I just set it. I set myself as the owner. Hold on. That was a mistake. I want to delete this repository. To make it really easy to create repositories and make it real annoying to delete them. Possibly for good reason, but it annoys me whenever I mistakenly create a repository in the wrong way. Let's try this again. Let's go back. New repository. Owner, GrayTech Corporation. Call it homepage. Description. GrayTech homepage. Make it private repository. No readme. No get ignore. No license. Create repository. Fantastic. So that's set up now. Then the first thing we'll want to do is make an index.html page. You know, this will stand in for the rest of the website. Muslemi says, "Are you doing contract work or something right now? LOL." No, I'm helping out the fam. I don't know if your family is as successful and powerful as mine is, but my cousin's a CEO, and I'm trying to get in her good graces, so that when she's a gazillionaire, I can mooch and get some of that dollar bill, y'all.
Absolutely.
Please, these people all think I'm not about my money. They don't get it.
Yeah. Well, soon after the non-competes go away, then your company is going to have to be on a run for its money. I'm coming for you, cuz.
He says, unpaid intern. Yeah, that's more like it. So then what we need to do now is create a Git repository. Now I'm going to open up my text editor of choice. Let me exit out of this session here. I will, let's see. I can make sure to keep all my stuff in very good organization so I don't lose track of it. So what I do is I make a subdirectory within I have a source directory, and then within my source directory, I have a directory for all of the source forges, and then I have a directory for all of the organizations that I pull code from. So then I'll do a...
Oh, nice. Mm-hmm.
And then within each one of those, I have the repositories. So first, I will make a new repository called homepage. And this isn't exactly how you do it once you already have a repository going. Normally you would clone it and then you would work within it. But since there's nothing here, then I need to run these steps. So first thing, I'll make a directory. And then I'll open up that directory and I'll run git init to turn it into a Git repository. And I'm going to ignore when it says git add readme.md. I'm going to just open up an editor and call it index.html. So of course, you remember the HTML files from back in the day. Hasn't changed at all. HTML slash HTML at the end. Head. Welcome to Gray Tech. And of course, this is all subject change. Get rid of the head. Actually, this is the title. Oh,
use Gray Tech Corporation so they don't think it's Systems or one of those other competitors.
Fantastic. And then a body. And we'll just make this look very official. We'll just say copyright. I need another tag here. Gray Tech Corporation 2023. And that's all we need for a very simple website. Then we will do git add index.html, so that adds it to the Git staging area.
Okay.
Then we'll run git commit with a message of initial commit. That will add it to a git commit so that it's official and stored in Git and never be changed. Then we will git push origin main to tell GitHub that I've made these. Oh. Well, actually, we're trying to tell no one, so we'll need to do git remote add origin github.com Gray Tech Corporation / homepage, and then we will git push origin main to tell GitHub about it. So then when I reload the page, it's here. So that's fantastic. So we have some code up on a website. Now, gonna do one thing. I'm just gonna make a page called site, or a directory called site, for reasons that will be made apparent later. Then I will move index.html into the site directory, and then I will git add -a to add all the files, git commit -m, move index.html to site, and I will git push origin main again, for reasons that I cannot explain because I should have done it like that from the beginning. So basically, everything under site we're going to transfer to the web page, and then we'll set it up so that it happens automatically.
Okay.
So to do that is going to involve a couple of things. So one of them, let's see. So I got to get this straight so I don't say anything wrong. So GitHub has this thing called GitHub Actions, where basically whenever you push to a GitHub repository or do certain things with a GitHub repository, it can run some code for you. So what we can do is we can set up the code so that what it does is it publishes the website so that we don't have to worry about it. And people get really crazy with it. I'll show you one that I've done recently, which is nowhere near as crazy as some of them go. But whenever I push to this this particular repository, it will create a new release, and then it will build a Apple program. It'll build the program on an Apple computer, package it, create a DMG, which is the Apple installer, and then upload that DMG file to the GitHub releases page so that people can download it directly off of GitHub and use the program. It also does the same thing for Windows. So it's a very powerful tool that you can do almost anything in. And don't let the shortness of this command fool you. There's a lot of work that went into this. But in this instance...
Yeah, I see all of those run instances.
Yeah, so in this instance, if you go to a release, you can download the MSI Windows installer or the DMG Mac installer for the Pape Changer application, which is currently running on my desktop, which is fantastic. So GitHub Actions can do quite a bit of things. Earlier I was showing the blog page that it publishes, but we can just make it set up this, push this website. So what we'll do is click on Set Up a Workflow, and then one of the best parts about GitHub Actions is all of this is just text files, and you can just straight yoink these from anyone. So I'm going to steal this from, let's see, that aforementioned blog page, because this looks good enough for me. So I'm just gonna yoink all this stuff and paste it. Now this is what an okay software engineer does: copy and paste. A good software engineer just imports other people's code, so you can barely even tell that they're stealing it. But I'm more overt in my stealing. You know, just it's a little bit worse of a practice, but I like it. So we don't need this step. And then we don't need this step. But what we do need is this thing and this thing to change. So user is going to be Ubuntu, and the host name is going to be this thing. For now, we'll change it to the other one later, just for the purposes of getting it set up. This will be the host name. And then you will notice the last command here is this rsync command. Rsync is a program that is really good at making remote directories look exactly like local directories. I don't know why going to the website is going to explain anything. Basically, what it does is when there's a large number of files to be transferred, like if you're moving an entire website, or it's really good for backups of your system. If there are a lot of files that need to be moved from one place to another so that the other place looks exactly like the first place, what it does is it goes through and calculates exactly what the differences are between the current directory structure and the directory structure you want, and then it sends over only the files that have changed. So it's very efficient, and it runs over SSH. So basically the same SSH we were using to log into these machines. It uses the same system under the hood to sync the files between two different computers. So that last command will sync the files from the site directory to the servers directory /var/www/http, I believe. Let's just make sure real quick. /var/www/http. Yeah. HTML. So yeah, that's why I always check HTML. So then once we save this, it's not going to work because we don't have the SSH key or the SSH pub GitHub secrets. So basically, to make it so that anyone that why is this mad at me? Is this... Did I break it? Did it not? It didn't like me. Is it mad at me? No, it's not mad at me. So basically, to make it so that anyone who can find their way to this page doesn't hack into your stuff by stealing all of your secrets, GitHub has this thing called GitHub Secrets, where you can store things like keys and public keys, well, not really public keys, but where you can store things like your private keys so that they are able to be used in this GitHub Workflows thing without being within GitHub Actions workflows without being exposed to anyone other than GitHub. So we need a key to log into this server. I don't want it to be the same key I'm using. So what I can do is generate a new SSH key. So that is a little more difficult on Windows because I don't know how to do it. But I will show you how I do it on Mac, and the steps are the same, just the way you do them is different.
Okay.
So I'm going to make new directory, call it Graytech temp keys, because of course it's a temporary website. And then with OpenSSH, you have a command called ssh-keygen. And then you want to do -t, which is the type of key you want. And then it's going to be an ED25519. I don't know why it's called ED25519, but that's the standard. And then it will enter the file that you want to save the key. So I'm just going to call it /temp key. That way it's not overriding my current key, which is important that I don't overwrite it. Empty passphrase. And there it is. So now we have the key and the pub key there. So we need to copy that temporary key over to the GitHub secrets, which is called ssh_key, ssh_key_pub. Generating a bit of a twisted Edward, says Muslim. Anyway, so we'll go to the settings for this repository. I think this is the settings for the repository. Secrets and variables. Action secrets, new repository secret. So we want ssh_key_pub, and of course this is the public key, so anyone's allowed to see this. So I can just tempkey.pub, type this into a program called pbcopy, which puts it in my clipboard, and then I can just paste it over here. Oops. There we go. You don't need this last part. That's just the computer I was on when I generated it. So I can add that secret. And then it'll be the same thing for the private key, except I'm not going to show the full process because when I paste it, it's visible, and the private key is meant to be kept completely private. So I can copy it, new repository secret, ssh_key, and then I'm just going to go off screen here to paste this and save it. And then now that it's saved, theoretically, once I rerun this GitHub action, it should all work. Now, normally, it's not that easy, but we'll see if we get lucky.
Okay.
So we will see if it runs. Didn't like it. Why is it mad at me? Permission denied pub key. Oh, I forgot. This is a classic unforced blunder in public-private key authentication. I never added this key to the server. The server has no idea that this key is allowed, and it's me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy it again. Cat temp key.pub, pipe into pb copy, so this adds it to my clipboard. And then I'm going to SSH right back into the server. Then on my user, there's a folder called .ssh, and then in there is a file called authorized keys. So I'm just going to edit that.
To include this one?
Yep. And then what I will do is paste in the new key. So you have this optional kind of name field at the end. This one, I'm just going to say that this is the GitHub key. Now, when I rerun it, it should work. Hopefully. We'll see. And it didn't like it. We'll see what's wrong with it now. Some files were not transferred. Rsync receiver make step. MKS temp /var/www/html.index.html.mej2 failed permission denied. This is a classic Unix permissions error. This is something that happens from time to time. Not to worry though. All you have to do is, and this is something that I'll probably end up helping with. These issues can be a little bit tricky to deal with sometimes. Not as tricky as not knowing how to move my file around here. So this is kind of getting into the weeds, but this is the sort of problem you have to solve with Google. Alright. Sorry, I'm thinking through. There's a few ways to do this in my head. I'm thinking through the best way to do it. I want to do this the correct way. And in the past, I've done this the incorrect way. So the correct thing to do would be to set up a user account for a user that has access to that repository, or that directory, cd/var/www HTML. However, the way I'm gonna do it is probably not right. I'm just gonna chmod 777 HTML. Sudo lets you do things you're not supposed to do. What this does is give all users on this machine all permissions to do things. This isn't a great move on a shared server, but if it's just a server that you're hosting a web server on, as long as you have all your ports closed off, it's not too bad. Oh, shoot. Now it'll work. Unix permissions errors are nonsense that should have been left in a long time ago in history, but they weren't. So hopefully this will work. Oh, there we go. So now,
lovely.
when I go back to the public IPv4 address and connect over HTTP instead of HTTPS, we will see the new Greytech website we just wrote. And whenever you make an edit to it, it will be published automatically.
Oh, no more 48-hour updates.
Exactly. So if I, let's say I go to this file and I edit it to say, to spell copyright correctly. How do you spell copyright? Always copy R-I-G-H-T. I always think it's copyright. Copy R-I-G-H-T. So let's see. Commit changes. I did it wrong again. Nope, no I didn't. I guess I was just using that. Anyway, so then if I reload the page, in a few seconds, it changed automatically. So now all you'll have to do
from my end, I don't see the page.
It's on this. It's on this IP address. It's not hosted on yours. You know, the final one that's going to be, because we have to.
Oh, that's right.
So here, I'll send you the IP address.
Yeah.
There you go.
Thanks.
And if I did this right, it should actually be at randomtropics.com. If I did the DNS thing right. It's just a random domain I used to own for a group of idiots that I used to yell at all the time.
Cool.
And then just for funsies, if you want, I can show you how to set up SSL so that you get the HTTPS instead of this connection not secure thing. That only takes a couple of minutes.
Okay.
Just a pad time until the thing is up. And this will be the full thing on how to get a web server started for anyone who wants to watch this later on YouTube or whatever.
Excellent, and you timed it just perfectly.
Yes. And if anyone's wondering, that's why exactly everything that happened in this stream did. So I took in 25 minutes.
Including all of the errors.
Especially the errors. Those were specifically timed.
And the time it took for me to have access to log in tonight.
Exactly.
It was all a part of our plan.
Exactly. So you sudo apt-get install python 3-certbot nginx certbot. You need to install certbot, and then you need to install the python nginx certbot.
Okay, let me install that. Sudo.
Services. Oh, it's called certbot-nginx maybe? Apt-get install certbot-nginx. Python 3-certbot-nginx, is that right?
No. Whenever I log in for the putty, am I going to have to do this long version of...
You should only have to set that up once,
SSH?
and then you just have to put in the You should be able to save a profile in Putty. I'm not exactly sure how that works.
Okay, yeah, because it's asking me. I have to like literally come back to the connection, SSH, the author, credentials, and
awful.
plug it in from scratch each time I'm logging in.
We'll have to. We can figure that out later.
Okay.
I'll just show you how to do this over here. So once you've installed Python 3-certbot-nginx and a program called certbot, what that is a program for automatically verifying website certificates for HTTPS, and then it's as easy as running certbot-nginx sudo certbot-nginx, excuse me. You just put in your email address. This is for when the cert's about to expire, it'll tell you. And then you need to say that you've read the terms of service. No one's ever read the terms of service. And then you need to not share your email with the Electronic Frontier Foundation. Then you just enter the domain name. So this one is randomtropics.com. And then it'll get a certificate for it, but it only works if the DNS is set up. So a good indication is if you can get to the website without HTTPS. That generally indicates that it works. And then when you change HTTP to HTTPS, it should just work. There we go. And now we have the voila.
Cool.
Connection is secure.
Excellent job, Big Nate.
Thank you. So this is how to get a website started going on Amazon EC2. All fun stuff. Yeah. I have nothing else. Tiffany, anything you want to share with the viewers before we sign off?
npmaile is a great host. I had an excellent time. I learned absolutely wonderful skills that I will now be able to carry forward and monetize. Thank you, Nate.
I appreciate it. And on that note, I will play the Windows XP shutting down sound and leave everyone, you and the viewers, to enjoy your evening. Adios.
Peace.